What's good, everybody, and welcome back to another video. So market opens today, right? Currently it is closed. The market opens at 5 p.m. Eastern. I want to give you guys the daily analysis with US 30 and gold. So the analysis I'm going to give you guys applies for the London session and for the New York session, and maybe for the next couple of days as well. So obviously you guys don't want to be trading as soon as the market open. You guys want to let the market do its thing, create the volume, and then from there on you guys can start taking trades. But yeah, so I want to give you guys the analysis for this next couple of days. So before we start, I want to show you guys the economic news that we do have this week, right? So as you guys can see, we do have USD news starting on Tuesday and ending on Friday. So this entire days, right? This entire week, the economic news are going to be very, very red folder, very high impact, meaning that you guys want to be risking very low, right? As you guys can see, we do start the news at Tuesday at 10 a.m. and then we end it on Friday from 8:30, right? So we do have an NFP week. So most likely you guys want to be trading very patient, and you guys want to be obviously selecting the proper trades, and then obviously you guys want to be trading with low risk, and don't be trading during the New York session. Obviously you guys want to be trading after or before the news session. So let's go into a little bit deep into this analysis, right? Most likely every Sunday I will be giving you guys a deep analysis to show you guys the bigger picture, and then throughout the days I will give you guys a daily analysis to show you guys what I'm expecting for that specific days. So it'll be like pretty much a quick trades. So let's do a top down first off the monthly time frames. I'll explain this one later. So obviously off the monthly time frame with US 30, you guys can see that we've been very, very bullish, right? The bigger picture, what I've been waiting for was obviously pullbacks into the zones to continue pushing to the upside, right? The reason why is because this was the previous monthly highs and the previous all-time highs that we still haven't pretty much gotten pullbacks, right? Obviously whenever price is creating higher highs, right, and higher lows, we break above the previous higher highs, right? Obviously we want to get those higher lows to pull back and retest to continue breaking the highs, right? It's pretty much exactly what I've been waiting for. We still haven't gotten those proper pullbacks, right? We don't know yet if price can start rejecting from there and start pushing back into the upside, since we've been very, very bullish, right? So obviously we're gonna have to be working down. We're gonna have to be working down into the lower time frame to see if we can get those, obviously those minor pullbacks, etc., to possibly get those bigger pullbacks, right? So what I was doing, obviously I went back into time to see exactly how price broke above previous highs and how it created those higher lows to continue the bullish, right? Notice over here, we did start this bullish movement on November of 2020. We've been bullish from there very, very long time. Literally 2 years. We've been bullish 2 years with US 30 at this time, and then it literally took 2 years for price to pull back into the zone, to pull back literally previous highs to retest it to continue the bullish movement. Right now, obviously we don't know if it's gonna take 2 years for price to pull back into the zone to continue, right? It can happen now, or maybe it can even happen by the end of the year. So obviously we don't know exactly when we're gonna get those deeper pullbacks. But pretty much that's the idea for literally long term, right, with US 30. So obviously we don't have to worry about that at the moment, but that's just a long term detail. We're looking at the weekly time frame. Obviously the weekly time frame we are still bullish, right? Obviously we do have this highs, lows, highs, lows, high, lows, right? Still very bullish with the weekly time frame as well. What we do want to focus on right now off the weekly time frame is how the the previous weekly candle closure, right? What happens over here, right? We broke above previous weekly highs, right, which currently we are rejecting and holding it as support off the lower time frame, right? If you look at the daily time frame is also bullish structure from all the way from the bottom, creating higher highs and higher lows. As you guys can see, let's say start from here, we have this lows, we have this highs, higher low, retest resistance, turn into support, breaks above, right? We have a new higher high. Price did pull back last week, retest the previous highs, currently holding it as support, and then obviously we start pushing back into the upside. So that's off the weekly, daily. Obviously we're bullish. Now into the 4 hour time frame, we are kind of currently seeing a switch of structure, right? So let me show you guys the switch of structure. Like I was explaining to you guys, obviously we are creating higher highs and higher lows, right? So once we did form this higher highs around the 39, we can say 39 to 70 was the previous highs that price created. We did form the higher low, right? But now notice that price pulled back, and what did we form here, right? We did close as a higher low, right? So we have a higher high, higher lows, lower high. We have a lower high, and if you go into the lower time frame, right, we are currently rejecting off of this date and the previous 1 hour, 4 hour support that I pretty much explained as well last week, right? We did see some rejection from here, which obviously sold off. We did see some rejection from here that sold off as well, and we are currently seeing that price is now trading under, right? We did reject off this resistance over here. We can say minor resistance at 39,110. We did see rejection from there, and currently price is now trading under these zones over here. So let me grab my notes to show you guys. I do believe I have I think I wrote down some explanation here. 4 hour, we're having the switch structure, right? Obviously we formed the 4 hour higher low, right? We did see some bounce from the 38,730. Price pull back to retest H4 breakout structure, which is this one over here, H1 H4 breakout structure with minor support, which currently price is rejecting, and we're potentially can hold as resistance, right? So check this out. Obviously I will be looking for sales as long as price can remain itself under this area of support, holding as resistance, right? So at the moment it doesn't look very clean, doesn't look solid to take off support yet. Most likely what I want to wait for is obviously the candle closure under these zones over here, and then obviously wait for those pullback, right? Off the 4 hour time frame, it does not look clean yet to be taking those trades, right? Same thing off the 1 hour time frame, it doesn't look clean as well. Obviously we're gonna need to see some movement like this. We need to see some previous, obviously some lower time frame, lower lows and lower highs to create to start taking this trade, right? But as long as price can remain itself under this zone 39,020, I will be looking for sales back down into this daily lows, which is gonna be the 38,823. And then if this zone, obviously the bearish volume continues, my target will be back down into this weekly lows at 38,730, right? Now, if you want to see the daily switch of structure, right, the bigger picture to switch of structure, we're gonna have to break under the weekly lows, right? From there on, that's where price breaks under the previous higher lows, right? So obviously whenever price breaks under the previous higher lows, most likely it creates a lower low, pulls back, creates lower high, and from there on we can possibly start seeing the switch of structure from the higher time frames, right? But that's only if price can manage to break under the weekly lows, which currently we are seeing rejection of the zones, right? This was the previous weekly high that price is currently holding as support that caused this bullish movement into the upside. Now, the other play is as if price doesn't remain itself under here and we start breaking back above, right? The only way I'll be looking for buys will be if we start breaking above the daily highs, right? The daily highs, which is obviously the previous daily highs. That will be the only way that I'll be looking for buys, right? Simply a break and retest above the daily highs around 39,110. Price remain itself above, I'll be looking for buys back into the weekly highs, which is going to be this one, and then obviously back into the monthly highs if the bullish volume is very strong, right? So that's the only way that I'll be looking for buys with US30 above the daily highs, looking for sales under the 39,020. Very simple. Now let's go into gold. So I forgot to show you guys this thing. It's a very quick example. So like I said, right, we're looking for sales as long as price can remain itself under, since we already created that H4 higher lows, right? So pretty much if we invert this, we're literally looking for the same exact setup that happened here, same exact setup that happened over here. What happened over here? We broke under support, price pulled back, used it as resistance, we're looking for sales. Same thing happened over here, price broke under this area of support, we pulled back, we used it as resistance, and we're looking for sales, right? So that's pretty much exactly what we're going to be looking at the bigger picture here, right? We're looking for price to, we did get the pullback, now we're just waiting for those bearish confirmation to continue the sales back into downside, right? Like I said, sales at the moment does not look clean, but as long as price does remain itself under, creates those bearish momentum under the lower time frame, then I'm definitely looking for sales. Obviously I'll keep you guys updated with those as well. So now let's move on into gold. All right, so let's start off on the monthly time frame. Monthly, obviously you guys can see we are very bullish, right? Check this out. The monthly bullish candle, wick rejection from previous monthly high, which is a monthly lows right over here at 1985, right? So check this out. This monthly candle, right, the previous one, which was November, we did get those pullback into this previous highs over here, which is 1985. As you guys can see, we did reject it once again. We rejected on December. From there, we had the bounce into the upside, and once again, we rejected on February, right? If you go into the lower time frame, you guys can see that this zone over here of resistance, we're currently holding it as support, which obviously caused some bullish movement into the upside. We have the new monthly candles open, right? We did have the monthly candle open, pretty much breaking above those monthly highs over here, which is 2063, right? We go into the weekly time frame as well. We do have a very strong weekly candle bullish closure above the weekly highs over here, which is 2070 areas, right? 2073, 2070 areas. The weekly, obviously we're still bullish, right? We're very bullish. Like I said, we broke above the zones over here, so most likely we'll be waiting for pullbacks into these zones over here to obviously continue the bullish movement. I'll explain to you guys in a bit. The daily structure, we're also bullish, right? Breaking above this daily, the previous monthly highs. Like I said, waiting for those pullbacks to continue highs, right? But check this out. Price is back again into these highs over here. I wouldn't say all-time highs, because all-time highs is right over here, but we're back at our major resistance around the 2088. We go into the 4-hour time frame. What do we see? So far, we are currently seeing rejection. We're pretty much seeing that price is rejecting and maintaining itself under. Pretty much the first time that price created into the 2088, we did see some sales from here. The second time that price pulled back, we did see some rejection. Obviously price sold off from there. Pretty much price is doing the same exact thing, right? We did pull back into zone. We're currently seeing some rejection. Most likely we'll be waiting for those deeper pullbacks, right? So like the weekly, the monthly, the daily, and the 4-hour time, for instance, we are bullish, right? Like I said, the long-term term that I'm looking for, which I did roll down over here, the long-term play, I'm waiting for price to give me those pullback into monthly highs, right? Which is this one over here, around the 2060, 2056 retest resistance to potentially hold that support to continue the bullish volume, right? So that is the bigger picture that I'm waiting for gold, right? I'm waiting for those deeper pullbacks into these zones over here, which most likely, obviously, I'll update you guys if we do get those pullback, right? But I'm waiting for this pullback into here to obviously continue the highs, right? To create those higher lows. But at the moment, right, we're going to focus over here. We are seeing rejection from this major resistance 2088. So very simple. As long as price can remain itself under the 2088, right, I will definitely be looking for sales back into a downside. Or if we don't get those pullback tonight, right, if we don't get this pullback during the London session, New York session, the next play that I'll be looking for will simply be the break and retest under the zones over here to obviously continue the bullish movement. And my first target will definitely be the zones over here, which I had my eyes on, which is 2073. 2073 or 2075 was the zone that I was looking at right at the moment. I believe it was this one. Let me just put it on here. Yeah, definitely 2073 was the zone, which, as you guys can see, it is the zone of support resistance, currently holding it as support at this time, right? So this will definitely be my first target. 2073 is an area where you guys want to keep an eye as well. Like I said, it's an area of support that most likely we can possibly see some bounce plays from here if price does remain itself above it, right? Now, if it doesn't remain itself above it, you guys simply just wait for those break and retest set up, and then the next target will definitely be 2065, 2056. This is the bigger zone pictures, right? Obviously, you guys want to keep your eyes around this zone, but definitely we'll be looking for sales if price can remain itself under 2088 or 2082 as well. Now, next story. Let's say that the bullish volume just continues and we start breaking above the 2088, which is cool. Obviously, you guys just want to wait for price to close above it. Most likely, you guys want to wait for the H1, H4 price to close above it. Give you guys those bullish patterns, those bullish idea that price has possibility to continue more bullish. So obviously, continue breaking back into the highs, right? Obviously, we do have targets that we can definitely target off previous highs over here. Most likely, I would say first target can definitely be 2095. Right here, definitely 2095 can be a first target, and then from there on, obviously the bigger picture is 20 back all the way to all-time highs, but we don't know exactly if price can obviously continue bullish all the way up there. But that would be most likely if price breaks above the 2088, which I doubt since we are already seeing rejection from this resistance. But that's pretty much it, guys. Nothing very complicated. Obviously, I'll keep you guys updated with this one. You guys want to make sure with gold that price just remain under these two zones to continue sales back into these levels over here. So that's pretty much it, guys. Hope you guys understand, and hope you guys enjoy as well. Pretty much update you guys every other day to show you guys exactly what price is doing, and I'll see you guys in the next breakdown. Peace out, guys.